It's beginning to smell a lot like Thanksgiving. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Lodge Kitchen. I can't believe it's already November and we're doing our recipe of the month. This is our stuffed cornbread dressing and it is fabulous. I can't wait for you guys to try it. It's gonna be at all of your holiday parties and all your holiday meals. Watch it come together with us. The showstopper in our dish is definitely gonna be our cornbread. We're using our True Southern cornbread mix. This is fantastic. Definitely the tip here is to use day-old cornbread, which is why I'm picking it up with my hands. We want it to dry out just a little bit, and that way when we put it in our casserole dish and pour over all those nice and amazing flavors, it's gonna be able to soak those in. So the first thing I'm gonna do for this is we're gonna cube it, and I wanna go fairly small on the cube, so under an inch. So I'm just gonna take, I always use a serrated knife for this, and I'm just gonna go diagonally across the cornbread. Now, if you start to see that your cornbread is crumbling, then don't worry about it. This dish is gonna come together whether the cornbread likes it or not. Like I said, just going diagonally across the cornbread, trying to keep my cuts nice and even. I'm just gonna slide that down to one side, and I'll take a couple pieces of cornbread at a time. Basically, I'm gonna turn them up on their side. I'm gonna cut them in half, and then I'm just going to cut those into cubes. Looking like crouton cubes. Look at that beautiful crust. That's that cast iron, folks. So as I'm going and I'm building this, this wall of cornbread on one side, I'm gonna start transferring that to Lodge cast iron baking pan. But you can use a large cookie sheet as well. All we wanna do is make sure we've got enough room so that our cornbread can get nice and crispy. I wanna just spread those out evenly, making sure that everybody gets enough space. I'm gonna fly the cornbread to the oven at 375 degrees. That's gonna go 15 minutes. While that's happening, we're gonna prep our veg. We are gonna be using some traditional flavors in this stuffing and some not so traditional flavors. I need a half of an onion. I'm gonna run that chef's knife through, keeping a very flat hand. It's important to use a sharp knife here, folks. And now I'm gonna go the opposite way. All right, so now when I make my chop, it just comes into these perfect little diced pieces. And we're gonna just start putting our prepped ingredients in the bowl. So onion first. Next up, we're gonna go celery. I'm just gonna run my knife down long ways. We'll just stack those together and we'll run our knife through them. And as we do that, I'm holding them all together and I'm making a claw with my hand, making sure that I don't cut myself. So same thing. We're gonna take some mushrooms, just a rough chop on these, just trying to keep similarly sized. Now, we've got our apples. What I'm gonna do is run it around the outside, bring it back towards myself. Now, I'm just gonna take my knife and run it down the side of the core, avoiding the seeds, using a claw, and we're just gonna run that knife down. Those are gonna go straight into the bowl. We're gonna give that a little tossy toss. I'm gonna just full on use my hands because we family. That is gorgeous. Check that out. Now we're gonna do garlic. Everybody knows flat hand, chef's knife. Give it a crack. We are garlic people. And if you're a garlic person too, then when you walk in, I play, "These are my people." We've got smoked sausage here. We're only using a half pound of smoked sausage, but really I just want that saltiness, that smokiness, and just add those layers of flavor in. I've got all my sausage kind of linked up, if you will. Oh wow, that was a bad joke. And this is just gonna disappear in the dish. To get our smoked sausage working, we're gonna be using a 12-inch cast iron skillet. This is a dual handle skillet. I love this thing because it takes up a little less room in my oven, but also on my grill. But we're gonna be using it today on the stovetop. It's versatility for you folks. So we're gonna just pop that pan over medium-low heat. Our skillet has been preheating 2-3 minutes, maybe 4, but it's feeling nice and warm on the inside. So I'm just gonna hit that with just a little bit of olive oil, and we're just gonna slide that smoked sausage right into the pan. Now, if we don't hear a sizzle, I'm not doing my job right. And that, my friends, is why we preheat our cast iron cookware, It's already starting to char. And I'm just gonna let that work for 3-4 minutes. These have probably been going for a couple minutes. So I'm just gonna give them a little rustle with my awesome fish spatula. All right, yeah, I can see that char developing really nicely. And this sausage is not gonna take very long to cook at all. Wish you could smell this. If I walk into your house and this is on your stovetop, I'm gonna find out what you're doing. All right, that's looking really great. I'm actually gonna lower the heat a little bit, and we can probably just remove that to a paper towel lined plate, and we'll start working on our veg. Oh look, I already have a paper towel lined plate. Our cast iron skillet is screaming hot right now, so we're just gonna add that butter right in the center. I love watching that butter melt. Just let that go for just a second, and we'll add our veg. We're gonna take our veg that we have diced, and that's gonna go straight into this hot skillet. We're gonna give that a nice knock around. We're just gonna want the cast iron skillet to do its job, and its job right here is to meld all these flavors together and sing to us. Can you hear it sing? Little Mermaid action. That's for my daughter. We are about to pull our cornbread out of the oven. Nice and toasty. Beautiful. Our veg has been hanging out for a little while. I'm just gonna give it a nice little knock around. We're starting to develop some color on that. That's exactly what I wanna see. This is gonna go 5 to 7 minutes depending on your range. I'm starting to see our onion is starting to work its way down. At this point, I'm just gonna add a little bit of butter and we're gonna season this. We're gonna toss our garlic and our onion. That's not onion, that is butter. Clearly that is butter. I need to do a butter job. Here's our garlic, that's gonna go right in the center. That's working very nicely. Everybody's all glossy, but it's not greasy. Glossy, not greasy. That's what I wanna see. This is sage, thyme, and black pepper. And we're gonna hit it with some salt. I'd say a half a teaspoon of salt. And this part is gonna come together super quickly. So now I'm starting to smell all those holiday flavors. All right, that is exactly what I want it to look like. I'm just gonna kill my heat and we'll slide it off that heat for just a second. So now we're just gonna put together the liquid. It's super simple, 2 ingredients, and that's just gonna get poured over the top of our casserole dish and make our dressing just nice and moist and beautiful. He said moist on camera? So we've got 1.5 cups of our chicken broth, and that I'm just gonna add a 1/4 cup of heavy cream to that. Just set this to the side. I've got a giant mixing bowl, and basically I want to use a very large mixing bowl for this because I don't want to destroy my beautiful cornbread croutons. I'm just gonna start adding my cornbread croutons to that. I'm gonna go about halfway. I'm gonna take my onion and my apple mixture with all those beautiful herbs, our smoked sausage, a 1/2 cup of cranberries, a 1/2 cup of pecans. I'm also gonna hit this with parsley. Parsley's gonna add a freshness. This bowl is big enough that I can almost just knock it around in there. What I'm trying to do is just make sure that everybody's mixed up really nicely, and that's why we layered those flavors and those components in the dish. I am making sure that they're evenly distributed, but I'm not overworking it. Now we are going to take a cast iron casserole dish. For a very long time we didn't have a casserole dish, now we do, and I love it. So I'm just going to kind of evenly sprinkle that on the top. So I'm gonna take my rubber spatula, and that's just gonna help me kind of move everybody around. We have our chicken stock and our heavy cream, and then I'm just gonna evenly pour it over the top, probably go back and forth a few times, just make sure that I get everybody nice and coated. Now we have our casserole dish. I'm gonna cover it with aluminum foil. This is gonna go back into my 375 oven for 30 minutes covered. It's always important to set your kitchen timer. The more you know. Okay, so our timer's going off for the first 30 minutes. All I'm gonna do now is remove the aluminum foil. We're gonna set it back in and get it nice and toasty on top. So it's time to pull out our cornbread. We've got our cornbread. It is nice and toasty on the top, but it's still got all that moisture down below. All those flavors have worked together. I'm gonna hit that with a little bit of parsley. Boom. Like we said, we eat with our eyes first. How amazing does that look? The smell is so deep, and I can't wait to dive into it. I'm gonna let it cool down just a bit because I have burned myself for you guys before, and I'll do it again, folks, but maybe not today. I've been standing over this amazing aroma for too long and gotta dive in. Boom, mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Everybody, can you hear me? We're going in. This is our November recipe of the month, our stuffed cornbread dressing. Call it stuffed cornbread because you're gonna want thirds of this, and you're definitely gonna be stuffed by the time it's over. But a happy stuffed, I promise. We hope you guys are cooking along with us at home. I encourage you to make this recipe. It's available on our website, and make it your own. Tag us in it at Lodge Cast Iron. We'd love to see what you're all cooking. Tune in next time. This is the Lodge Kitchen tuning out. I love you all. Bye.